Escape Velocity, an elite dangerous audio adventure serial written and produced by Christopher Jarvis. Episode 2, Little Girl Lost.
What's this?
Station information panel. Please enter inquiry.
I need a data terminal or a records office.
The Data Exchange in East City has public terminals for the Galactic Data Net.
Can you show me?
Please follow the signs to East City, Level 1, where you can access ground transportation.
Then I'll get my own answers.
How can I help today?
I'm looking for somebody. I need docking clearance.
Our security systems are just checking your ship records. I'm afraid I'm getting a red flag.
Why not check my current employer's name?
Well, I don't see how that should... Oh, I see. Clearance granted, Commander. Please head to Bay 2.
That wasn't so hard now, was it?
May I ask what brings you to Duval Terminal?
Somewhere on your station is a little lost girl. I'm here to find her.
Lave Radio Network News, bringing you the latest from the core to the frontier.
Concerns tonight as eyewitnesses share reports of alien sightings on the rim. Residents of local systems say that orb-like craft have been passing near Tannhauser. Authorities say that Thargoid sightings are unsubstantiated and no cause for alarm. News from further afield now as the Colmac Reeve Corporation play down fears of an epidemic of disappearances in Frontier systems.
This is big country out here. There are always people going missing. What we've got is a group of disgruntled miners trying to stir trouble. Pay it no heed.
Experts say there is no indication of a statistical increase in net disappearances. Sports now, as floating sub-half Triton Angel Monroe brings victory for the Reed Quat Stranglers with a fourth successful G-ball point in as many games.
I can't see May anyway.
She'll come back, or she won't. Either way, I don't see what we can do.
You'd let her go, just like that?
It's like you say, we might be safer if we move separately. She's got issues to work through.
Come on. I've known a lot of people with troubles, but May is just a world away from me. She got the date wrong by nearly 50 years. What, did she just miss the last half century or something?
Those robots you were shipping at a cryo facility, was she in one of those?
What? No. Did they?
Yep. As well as being impervious to scans, they contain a full life support system for freezing an occupant.
What would be the point in that?
I don't know. Maybe it's the future of passenger transportation. Stick him in a freezing mech suit and load him into storage racks.
No one would travel like that, surely. Speaking of which, I'd better order that passenger cabin.
I'd be grateful.
Cryosleep. You think it's that simple?
Well, as anything. Maybe she'd be better off on her own. Have you thought of that? Well, she won you over pretty quickly, didn't she?
What does that mean?
Got you to carry her halfway across the galaxy. She gets what she wants from people, even if she doesn't know she's doing it.
That isn't called for. I looked out for her because I didn't want a faceless corporation to treat her like property and control her future. The same reason, I might remind you, I'm transporting your tin hide around.
And with that, he turned and walked away with his dignity.
Where are you going?
As I said, safer on our own. I'm going to a bar. I'll see if I can shift those guns while I'm there.
Drinking and arms sales, what could go wrong? Oh, May. I hope you're okay.
Are you okay, little girl? Are you looking for something? Work, perhaps?
I've never been in a space station like this before. A hollow cube lined with cities. There are so many streets.
Ah, yes. Coriolis Station is like a planet. The slums grow with the people. Look out!
It's eerie with the other cities just hanging there.
I find it comforting. No matter how bad it gets, I can look up at the other 3 cities and imagine that somewhere in that mess, someone is worse off than me. You laugh like someone who hasn't for a while.
That's very true. I'm looking for someone. Actually, I'm looking for the data exchange.
Then, for once, I can satisfy your needs free of charge. And that's rare in any of the 4 cities. It's right through the alley, there.
Oh, thank you.
Be careful.
Greetings, madam. Can I be of assistance?
I'd like to access some historical records.
Text screen, audio guide, or Dreamware interface.
Dreamware? What's that?
Dallas, please respond.
I'm here.
What is your ETA?
I've just requested docking clearance. Where are you?
I've been here for hours. Commander Thane has landed with the girl.
That was quick work.
Well, people hired me for my efficiency, Dallas. That is why you are working for me. I've acquired a sniper rifle that will be more than adequate for the task. I would have completed the mission by the time you got here if I didn't require your help. Risha out.
Barkeep set me up with another one.
Certainly, sir.
I mean, really. I had the most perfect setup. Place of my own, away from people, my own business, and then bang! Feds blow in and take it all away.
I understand, sir.
You're programmed to be a good listener, you know that.
There they are, sir.
Now, I want you to listen to this. I was given this card in the market by a mutual friend. I want to talk to Toristat.
I'm sorry, sir. There's no one here by that name.
Yes, there is. And he's watching me right now, isn't he? Through that camera in your skull. Or is your shining personality enough to manage the drugs, Tin Man?
Psst. You have a card.
Right here.
Come through then. You don't look like a buyer, friend.
I'm not. Usually I'm a seller, but today I need information.
Why do you think I can help you?
Because you're like me, a tech bootlegger.
That's a vicious slander.
Isn't it always?
What's the payment?
What do you think of this blueprint?
Oh, that's beautiful.
I thought a man of your nature would like it. You can have this design and make these all the livelong day in exchange for a little bit of forbidden knowledge.
What is it you want to know?
What can you tell me about Dreamware trauma?
What's Dreamware?
Interactive total immersion experience. See, hear, and feel the records in which you have an interest.
I'll try that, I guess. Does it cost a lot? I don't have much.
Take this chip over to a terminal. It's free for 10 minutes. Then you must pay. If you buy a drink, it's free as long as you're ordering.
Okay. Now what?
Please take this headset and place it carefully, but firmly, upon your head.
And what? So I just...
I'm the Dreamware data attendant. I'm here to help you. Please provide search criteria.
I'm looking for Senator Tobias Havelock.
470 results found.
Can you give me a summary?
Tobias Victor Havelock. Born 3140. Died 3216. Served in the Imperial Senate from 3185 until his death. He made major contributions to the Slavery Health Guarantee Bill, Imperial Mining Jurisdiction Charter, Trooper Enhancement Program.
Stop. Trooper Enhancement Program. That was on his memorial. What is it?
The Imperial Trooper Enhancement Program is a Senate-approved genetic manipulation regime. Seen here, soldiers are adapted for improved agility, hand-to-eye coordination, physical strength, and mental acuity. The program has been lauded as a success throughout the Empire, marred only by controversy in 3216, with the death of the program director, Senator Havelock.
Computer, Senator Havelock, controversy and death. Can you tell me more?
Records are protected by net security.
Oh. Help. Ow. Computer, override security. Code word, echidna.
Access granted.
How did I know that?
There are multiple results.
Multiple results?
There are imperial and federal sources for this subject.
Give me federal coverage first.
Accessing dream sequence for federal meeting. 3215.5.8.
Come in, Senator. Please, take a seat.
Thank you, General.
It's my father.
Dreamware trauma. That's a bad business, my friend. One of your customers?
Thankfully not, but I have a friend who is exhibiting worrying behaviour, and I'd like to know if they had a bad dream sequence.
Well, it's more common with bootleg terminals, although even Signian Dreams have seen cases. They hush it up, of course. All I can tell you is that the subject will suffer hallucinations, memory loss, struggle to tell fantasy from fiction.
Memory loss? Might they not know the current data?
It's certainly possible. If the entertainment they were watching was set in a certain period, an episode of Dreamware trauma might leave them believing it's the date of the story. Assuming we're talking about an entertainment sequence here, not an educational use.
Educational use?
Yeah, sure. Schools use them, military uses them. They have modified Dreamware units which speed up the education process. Hell, even Signian Dreams do custom units. They're pretty careful though. Rich parents tend to be unhappy when their kids come home with DT.
May said she never finished her school. Could an episode of Dreamware trauma be triggered if the subject didn't complete the sequence?
Well, sure. Especially if the connection was terminated without shutting down. That's really damaging. But hey, the good news is your friend might get better if they can go back and see it to the end.
After seeing what Big Sister did with her education, I think May's better off dropping out.
Perhaps. Going back in is risky either way.
Risky? Why?
If you suffered a dreamware trauma, especially if you have the more serious symptoms like hallucinations and schizophrenia, going back into any dream sequence is risky. You take the delusion in with you. Sometimes you broadcast the nightmares into the dream sequence itself. It can get real trippy. So I've heard.
If someone on this station wanted to find someone's records, where would they go?
The data exchange, of course.
And does the data exchange use Dreamware terminals?
Of course, they all do.
Space. I've got to go.
Hey, my blueprint!
Keep it.
My father. Can he see me?
Negative. This is a pre-recorded dream sequence. The persons herein are not programmed for interaction.
We're pleased with your results, Senator. We've seen a measurable increase in the performance of federal troops.
Thank you. I'm pleased with my work on this. It is the sum of my life's achievements. Understanding human physiology, mentality, the very spark of life itself. Nothing could be more important.
Obviously, we're very pleased with the military applications here.
My father was working with the Federation.
I am sensing a but, General. Something on your mind?
We had a complaint from one of the lab techs. I can't even credit some of the things he said you were doing. Unauthorized tests, brainwashing, experiments on your own family.
Progress comes at a price, General. You know that.
The federal government cannot countenance this barbaric behavior. I will have to report this.
Barbaric behavior. You are not reporting anything, General. You came to me to buy troops for illegal operations into Imperial territory. It's a little late to be claiming the moral high ground.
Listen here, you freak. I'm trying to level the playing field here. The Empire has modified soldiers. We have to match them.
An aim which the Federation expressly forbids. Who will suffer more from your report, General? A senator and geneticist on the Imperial payroll, or a high-ranking military officer working without official sanction?
Why, you little...
Yes, General. What will you do?
I suppose the Federation can do nothing.
No. It can't.
This isn't over, Havelock. You mark my words.
End of recording.
You said there was an Imperial recording too. Can I see that one?
Accessing dream sequence for Imperial meeting. 3215.6.13.
This is utterly outrageous. I refute these allegations completely.
Of course you do. I would expect nothing less.
How can you trust information that comes from the Federation? They're lying.
For what purpose?
To discredit me. My work has made our troops strong.
Work which you are planning to share with the Federation by all accounts. And at the cost of your own family, no less. Damning, very damning.
How can you believe them?
Whether I believe them or not, the scandal has spread, dear boy. Your Federation paymasters have burnt your bridge for you. I can't save your position now.
But I'm so close.
The thing is, dear fellow, it's not the treachery or the dirty experiments that concern the Emperor.
It isn't?
It's the end game that disturbs him. We know what you've really been up to, Havelock, old boy, and that won't do. Won't do at all.
Won't do. I'm giving the people of this empire an unprecedented gift.
A gift which our society cannot support. The Empire is a carefully and deliberately planned creation. What you intend would shift all of that out of balance. Break the delicate equilibrium.
Equilibrium? I'm talking about human lives.
I know, and I'm talking about civilization. What you want to do just isn't in the Empire's best interests. You're through, Havelock. Nothing can save you now.
No! I won't be beaten. Hello, May.
What? You can see me? I thought this recording was one way only. You shouldn't be able to see me.
You've just plugged your head into a dream reader, May. In this place, your own thoughts and dreams mingle with reality. At last we can talk outside of your nightmares. If you'd finished your lessons, you'd be able to talk to me like this whenever you wished. You must have questions.
Are these recordings true? Did you do all of these things?
I made a lot of mistakes, May. Mistakes I came to repent. I need you now to undo the damage I did.
But, Daddy, what happened to the last 50 years? How did you die? Where are you?
I can only tell you what you already know, May. What's in your head. According to these records, I was executed by the Empire. But there is much more you can find with the security access you carry.
How do I have security access? How do I know about guns and ships?
You know a great many things. You have knowledge and skills. You are being prepared for a terrible purpose, May. A purpose you must fight. If you don't, the civilized galaxy as we know it faces destruction.
But how can I...
May! It's time for school, May.
May, I'm not the only thing from your nightmares that can get out. Run!
What?
Run!
Come back here, May. You aren't finished with your lessons. I have a knife here, May. Perhaps we need to cut the next lesson into your skin.
Leave me alone!
Take off the headset, May.
Take it off.
Do it quickly.
Negative. Removing the headset prematurely can cause significant psychological damage.
You can't get away, May. For every drop of blood you spill, the lesson will be ingrained deeper.
Take it off.
Do not remove the headpiece. You may suffer a cerebral episode.
Come back! No!
Come on. This is quality Imperial merchandise.
2. I will pay 2.
2? I can get 2 in the system I bought the stuff from.
That is my offer.
300, or I walk across the market to the lady who's been staring at us since we started and sell it to her.
275.
Sure. Deal.
Handprint?
Pleasure doing business with you. Got a lot of stock here.
I meet a lot of people.
What's under the sheet? Witchy, hell.
Ah, you like? Robots, all the way from Delta Pavonis.
I know what they are. I've seen them before.
You should ditch them. They bring bad luck, friend.
Looks like bad luck is here already.
Who's that?
I'm looking for someone. This girl, May Havelock. Reward available for useful information. Well, let's just say, if you've seen her, then you really don't want to keep it from me. Most of you spacers fear dying in the vacuum. Let me assure you that what I can do to you in the flesh is much, much worse. If any of you know anything, post it to the bulletin board, then get out of my way.
What do you want, Kurlik? This isn't a good time.
I think May's in danger.
You've seen the assassin too?
Assassin?
Tall chick with a rifle, flashing May's photo all over the market.
A sniper, space.
What were you calling about?
Well, I think May's gone to a data exchange to look for her father, but there's a chance the Greenway interface could hurt her.
Either way, it sounds like we need to find her, now.
Medical team to data exchange. Medical team to data
Can you
exchange.
turn that up?
Incident involving Dreamwear headset. Possible mental trauma. Subject is human female, early teens. Please report to 31st and Tuttle immediately.
Oh, no.
That sounds like her.
I'm going after her.
That's it, Vane. Go and find your friend. Dallas, come in.
I'm here.
I've got a job for you.
Excuse me. May! Excuse me. Hey, look out! May! Oh, sorry. Hey, watch where you're walking. Excuse me, miss. Have you seen a girl?
We have lots of girls.
About so high, dark, cropped hair?
Oh, yes. The sad-faced girl. I've seen her.
Where is she?
She got into some kind of trouble in the data exchange. She ran off.
Where did she run?
Into the admin quarter. Hey, wait!
I can't stop. May! May!
Are you okay? You look lost.
I'm looking for someone.
Who?
I'm not sure. It's terribly important I find them.
Another drifter. Get off this station and go home, kid. There's no work for you here. Take it from me.
No, please. You have to help me. I have to get to...
Where?
Star. Van Marnen's star. I must get there. It's terribly important. That's where it's going to happen.
Van Marnen's star? You are lost, little girl. That's the other side of the core.
I came here to meet somebody. Somebody important. My sister.
That sounds like it would be best. There's nothing quite like family.
Mister, do you have a ship?
Oh, sure.
Will you take me to Van Marnen's star?
What? No, of course I won't.
You're a Krellium addict, aren't you?
What?
I can tell. Your eyelids are shaking and your fingernails are red tinged.
What's it to you?
I can get some for you. It's not hard to find in a station like this.
You can get Krellium?
If you agree to take me in your ship.
I did as you instructed. I put the tracking chip on Thane.
Did he recognise you?
I don't think so. I had to bump him to pass off the contact, but he was searching for May so intently he didn't see who I was.
I flushed him out. Is he heading for the girl now?
Yes. An eyewitness pointed him in the right direction. He'll find us soon enough.
Which city?
East.
Then I will set up. Thane will lead us straight to her. Only contact me now if something changes. I need to prepare my rifle.
Thane, where are you?
Heading into the admin quarter. Someone saw May come this way.
Well, that's good. Lots of tall buildings. If you find May and keep her to the side streets, our sniper won't get a clear shot.
Wait. There she is. May! May!
Where is she?
Standing on the corner of Cassandra and 9th, talking to a pilot.
If memory serves, it's surrounded on all sides by tall buildings. As long as your sniper is near one of those, she'll be fine.
May? May!
Hello? Are you talking to me?
No time for jokes, May.
Hey, get down.
What? May is here.
I've been stupid, it's a trap.
What do you mean?
The coherent station.
I don't understand.
Cities facing on all sides. The sniper isn't near you, the sniper is above you. With a rifle like that, she can fire from one face to another. You've been flushed
us into a clearing.
May? May, get down! Please, May, get into cover!
Can you find my sister? I need to get to Van Marnen's star.
May! May, no!
Get out of there. Thane, get out!
Oh, space, no. No, no, no. May! What have they done?
Excellent. Dallas, come in.
I'm here.
The girl is dead. Do you want me to kill the pilot too?
Leave it for now. We might need him.
There's a crowd gathering around the body. I can hear security drones. Ballistics will give away my position soon. I need to move.
There's a problem.
What problem?
I've been studying the station's security footage. What I can get at least. Some of the sightings of the prototype put her in different cities at similar times. Based on the accounts, there's no way she could have travelled between these places in that time.
Wait. What are you saying, Dallas?
May. May, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I left you. I leave everybody behind.
Thane?
What? May! How?
Oh, that girl. Is she dead?
I don't understand.
She looks just like me. Thane, who is she?
I thought she was you. Oh, I was chasing after her and shot.
Who is she? How can she look like me?
I don't know. I'm sorry, mate. I don't know.
May? May,
Not now.
you know what this means.
Of course I know. I know. I understand everything now, Thane. I'm a clone.
What? How can that be?
It's right in front of you, Thane. That bullet was meant for me. But we have to move. The sniper won't stop here.
But...
Move, Thane.
In episode 2 of Escape Velocity, Christopher Jarvis played Thane, Amy Timms May, Alan Wales Kerlek, Liam McCauley Dallas, and Katie Howes Risha. Nick James was Senator Havelock, Georgia Darlison the teacher, Ken White the general, and Janet Bauer Imperial Consul, with Drew Wagar as the addict, Grant Walcott as Tollestadt, and Rebecca Keyes as the courtesan. Additional parts were played by the cast. Escape Velocity was written and produced by Christopher Jarvis, with music by Alan Stroud, and is a Radio Theatre workshop production for laveradio.com. Elite is copyright Frontier Developments. For more information, please visit escapevelocity.laveradio.com.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a current Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place?
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 414 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, the Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
Is it meant to glow like this?
We also have our apprentice stunt driver, Commander Alec Turner.
Ooh, my SRV is currently shagging a crane.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting image. Unfortunately, Commander Psychic can't be with us today. She's not feeling too well, so get well soon, Psychic. However, we have a replacement Psychic in the form of Commander Tweet 74.
Hello, everybody. I don't think I can replace Psychic, but you know, I'll sit in and give it my all. So glad to be here.
Glad to have you along. Now, if you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in game. That's me, Alec, and Ben, and we are flying in. Oh, this is where everybody's going to have a laugh at me. Garagio, and we will be at B4A. For obvious reasons, which will be in the revealed later in the show. So,
in his junkyard.
Exactly. So you can join us there if you wish. If not, well then, if you can't get to us in game, you can join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go to twitch.tv/laveradio or YouTube.Lave Radio or Twitter and look up Lave Radio. Oh, and Facebook and look up Lave Radio. Yes, we're a multimedia simultaneous cast podcast these days.
But frankly, if you're listening on Facebook, what the hell are you doing with your life? We don't judge you, honest.
Yeah, I must admit, I watched. Wasn't there a Netflix? There's a Netflix documentary about some of the social engineering happening on Facebook, and that's scary.
Actually, being serious, I feel dirty because I quite like the Will Wheaton after show after Star Trek stuff that he does on Paramount's thing, and I think that's on Facebook, isn't it?
Is it?
I can't find it anywhere other than on Facebook.
It should be on Paramount Plus. Would have thought
I don't
so.
have Paramount Plus. Christ.
I could make you watch stuff on Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's After Trek or something like that. And I like Will Wheaton, and he's great. And I quite like the interviews they have with cast members and things like that. But it's like I'm watching it on Facebook, and I'm like, why couldn't you put this on YouTube or something, guys?
No.
Oh dear. Well, welcome to everybody. So I think we'll quickly go around the team, see how everybody has been doing for the last week or so. So we'll start this time with Commander Turner.
Oh, blimey. Drop straight in it. What have I been doing? I've been looking after my elderly stepmum. She's doing all right now, yeah. And
all stepmothers are 21, Alec. You should know this.
Yeah.
And my stepmother is also 21.
21, give or take 70 years, but yeah, which was fun. And in game, I've been doing loads actually. I missed last week's show, and I did want to. I had an anecdote from Ice Mordor where I spent quite a lot of time and reflects on what I'm doing this week.
Excellent.
So,
do you want to talk about Ice Mordor? Because that's. Oh,
yeah,
actually, we'll come back to Ice Mordor after we've been around the rest of the crew. Because
okay,
I really want. Trust me, I really want to hear it. Because
okay, we'll come back to Ice Mordor.
Colin, don't you mean I really want to hear it?
Fine. Lots of tales of Ice Mordor. Aside from Ice Mordor, I've been doing the I did the Halloween treasure trail, which I guess we'll go into in a bit more detail. And I now find myself stuck at Downey's Junkyard because it's a bit of an SRV playground. Can't seem to tear myself away from the place.
Excellent. That's where we're heading.
I'm there.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Ben, what about yourself?
I've been doing so many things. Yeah, I've been doing so many things. I've done the whole spooky, scary stuff and had lots of fun with that. But the expansion pack for RimWorld, which goes off and adds the ability to control mechanoids, the ability to basically become a vampire or a furry, and children. And I've been playing that a fair amount. Yeah, I think for the sanity of people, we're probably best to leave it there, because if I say what I've been doing, I'll probably get arrested or something. In a similar,
it's getting me worried.
Yeah, well, it's RimWorld, and there's children involved.
Okay.
Warning.
Yeah, I am running a polyamorous society, and my society's chief moral guide is a woman who has 2 husbands, a 3rd lover. One of her husbands has another husband. She also got pregnant by one of the guys. And then I found out that the babies talk baby language. Actually, it was Lennon who told me that the babies actually talk baby language to us. They go say goo goo gaga, and that actually translates into whatever the hell they mean. But then I also got a wild infant basically decided to appear on my land and started causing mayhem, so I had to go and kill the little blighter.
So no, a normal day in Norfolk then.
A normal day in RimWorld, shall we say? So I've been having fun with that.
Does anyone make a soap opera from RimWorld? It sounds to me like perfect opportunity.
That is essentially what it is. It describes itself as a story generator or something like that. I can't remember exactly. In a similar vein to RimWorld, I've been playing Stranded Alien Dawn, and yeah, I've been really enjoying that as well. You can tell it's early development, but it's very solid so far, and I hope they get a modding community, because if they do, my god, the things that could give us. I've also been playing Cyberpunk because basically they had big updates for that, and that's been fun. I've also been trying not to get arrested while playing RimWorld. No, not RimWorld. While playing Roblox. And today I had some very spicy chicken for lunch, and now when I go to the toilet, it burns.
Okay, there was a lot of oversharing there, and I hope that everybody is now happy with the fact that Ben has shared with the group. Moving on, Tweaked, how have you been?
Well, I certainly am not suffering from Ben's problems here today, but I have been quite well. I've actually, since I got in my console transfer, really caught the bug back, and I've been playing pretty much nothing but Elite for the last 3 weeks or so.
Lovely. I take it, have you been playing in Horizons 4.0, or have you gone the full Odyssey?
Oh no, I'm in Odyssey.
Yes.
All Odyssey.
And how are you this is quite interesting. I mean, how have you found Odyssey from moving on from the consoles?
Well, I was on PC a little bit before the console transfers happened, so I had Odyssey with a different account, and I was playing around in it. I just was not like advancing in it because I was hoping there'd be a console transfer, and I didn't want to do the grind all over it. So I was familiar with how bad it was at start, and then what it is today, which I believe personally, I think it's in a much better place now than it was 6 months ago or so.
I'm curious, actually, Tweaked, if I can just chip in on that. Did you kind of constantly dip in and out of Odyssey during all the updates, or has it been a while since you'd played it when you transferred?
Nope, I came in on PC pretty early on, and then I was dipping in and out. I wasn't like steadily playing, but to me, after update 9, it took a big jump forward, and it's just gotten better and better after every update since
I was
then.
curious if you'd noticed a big jump, but I guess if you've been dipping in and out, it's all been kind of incremental, isn't it? So
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
But I mean, to me, it was a big one at update 9. That's when everything stabilized and the game it works 99% of the time for me now. So
Excellent. Well, I guess that myself, well, I haven't been playing much Elite because I've had to deal with family issues. Those of you who know that my mother is not well at the moment, so I'm going to have to. I'm spending a lot of time up in Scotland. However, I did have one incident. I now actually have notoriety. 1 point of notoriety. I have never had notoriety before in my life on this game, and it's because basically I think there was a naming problem. I went and massacred the wrong settlement, which I wouldn't recommend that you do. At the moment, I am wanted by the HR 6669 Labour Force when I should have been massacring the HR 6669 Outlaws. Two very similar named factions. It's just I didn't read it properly. And lo and behold, I went through and massacred an entirely innocent outpost. I did think something was wrong when I started getting bounties, which I thought I've never had that before. Apart from that, that's all the Elite Dangerous stuff that I've done, I'm afraid to say, because, well, it's just been real life grinding me down. Alec.
Yeah, I was just going to say on the notoriety thing. I mean, I'm probably doing it wrong. I ended up getting notoriety all the time with Elites, Odysseys on foot stuff.
Since Odyssey, it's so hard not to, isn't it?
Yeah, because what I'd do, I'd get some sort of settlement steal something mission or some even an assassination, but just to steal something. And I'd go tiptoeing in, and I'd have to steal somebody's identity to open a door, and then I'd open a door. And then for one reason or another, it'd all kick off. I'd get scanned or something. And then before you know it, I'm shooting everyone and everyone's shooting me. And I've got lots of notoriety. It happened almost every day.
Well, normally what I've done is I've just stuck to running missions for anarchy factions.
Right. Good plan, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, no matter what I've been doing, the anarchy faction, there's been no consequences for the law.
I think when you want to branch out and get some different Odyssey mats, though, that might not be as possible. I think the different settlement types give you the different mats, so I think it's real hard to avoid the notoriety when we're on the mat grind, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I've almost got enough mats for my grade 4 Dominator suit, which is great. I think I just need one more power regulator. So it's just a case of doing a base raid and basically stealing the power regulator, and that's it. I've got my level 4 Dominator suit, and then I've got to do it all over again, but worse for level 5. I think the worst thing about the whole thing is actually advancing the engineers, because I'm just looking at I have honestly I've gone through what what the Odyssey Material Helper recommends. I've been through what everybody in the forums have recommended. I am not getting a single opinion poll or anything that will allow me to go to the next level of engineer. I don't know how people are doing it. I really don't. I mean, I'm still enjoying running the missions. It's just, painful. Anyway, enough of my whinging. Development news. What have the devs said this week? Well, how shall I put this? We haven't had much. I was
to be fair, they were abducted.
Yeah, they were abducted. I was going to make an analogy, but I've been told it's not allowed. It's not politically correct. So I'll leave that one. However, we did have the Halloween live stream on the 20th of October, and we also had the Monday, the 24th Discos Discovery Scanner. Tweet, what's up?
I actually thought we did get a fair amount of news this last week or so between the live stream that we'll talk about. I'm sure that was quite interesting. Kind of a new way to go about that, but also they kind of nailed down the update 14 period that we're going to be looking at. So
yeah, that's true actually.
Yeah. So you'll have to bring me up to date on that one, because again, I actually missed the entire live stream apart from the last 5 minutes, which of course was the interesting bit, apparently. So yeah,
we'll be coming. I guess are we going to come in? We'll come into the live stream in a bit. So I guess.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So I'll shut up. I'll leave it for that.
So they did a whole lot of fun and games with a load of prizes, anagrams, Pictionary, etc. So I hope everybody's got their freebies from that. I got plenty of. I just had the stream running in the background because I was working at the time. So basically, I've got all my paint jobs. It's just a case of claiming them. And apart from that, there's also the Discovery Scanner, as I said, on the Monday. And yes, there was also this little puzzle about identifying which films they've referenced to in these emojis.
Well, if we go back to the live stream, one of the things that was nice about the live stream was they did interject some little bits and bats alongside the live stream that didn't look like they should have been there.
Oh, right. And what were they?
They were of a certain individual arriving, and it was just like flying to a certain location, and then the devs, they just nothing happened there, just blatantly ignoring it, and it looked almost like it was like just so it looked almost like a technical snafu right up until the very end, and I thought that was really cool what they did.
Oh, right. Okay, I see. Yeah, was that was the kind of in cutscenes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, that's one thing that I was quite surprised about. It actually looked quite good.
It looked really good, didn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm sort of not Babylon 5 level of effects, but still pretty good.
I'd say better than Babylon 5 level of effects, frankly. Considering it's all real.
Yeah.
Or real time.
Real time, yeah. So that is a very good point. Okay, not to Discovery levels of effects. Then how's that?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Not, yeah. It wasn't The Expanse, but it weren't bad.
Yeah, it was A+ for effort.
And again, The Expanse, it takes them like several weeks to render a scene.
Yeah. Now the films. Ben, do you want to touch on the films were?
Right. I can't remember them all because I'm just going off the top of my head. But it was like one guy, just the ship arriving, and then landing, and it was just like just a couple of second clip of the ship flying somewhere, and then a couple of seconds of the same ship landing, and then you see the guy walking into the bar.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, then is like, and then the feed's just cut, basically.
Yeah, Bruce turning around and doing his classic, "Excuse me, mate.
Can I help?
Mind?"
No. I thought that was quite nice.
Yeah. It did seem to work quite well. That
it was quite. Did you notice that for pretty much the whole live stream, the backdrop where normally they have people pacing up and down, it was like, hang on, this is on pause. I did quite early on think, why is this backdrop on pause?
That never dawned on me.
Weren't even focusing on the backdrop.
Yeah.
I always because last when was it? It was
there was an episode where there was a guy just like staring at them, wasn't there?
Yeah, and there was an episode where they had Darren on, and there was a Darren lookalike behind the bar behind them. Yes. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it can be a weird one. Those animations in the background.
I have to say, I don't know how they do it. I know they played around ages ago. Do you remember it might have been when they introduced the Scorpion SRV, and they did this brilliant one with Bruce leaning on the tire of the SRV.
That was right. He was doing the salesman slapping me, wasn't he?
And I think what I really like about their recent streams is the tabletop where they're resting their laptops and their mugs, and they've got their arms resting. It's like seamless with the location they're in. They're really good at setting that up.
No,
it's almost as if they had. It's almost as if they had something in green screen that you can lean on.
But you have to get it right, otherwise you're leaning like half an inch off the surface, or you're leaning into the surface to get it just so you're just touching is quite good.
Or you do a Del Boy and go straight through it. Anyway, so yes, we had the live stream. Now, I guess we're gonna cover the actual Halloween event later. But what other things did they touch on the live screen about the update for 14 release?
They basically just specified that they expect to have it towards the end of November, and if there's any changes from that, they would let us know ahead of time. But before then, they just said the November update, update 14 coming in November. We didn't know beginning, middle, end, but now we know to look towards the end of the month now.
Yeah, they Sally did confirm that in the Discovery scanner on Monday that it's still on for the end of November. They haven't had anything delay it yet. So.
And honestly, their last 6 updates or so have been really quite timely. I've been trying to tell people, I have, for example, not to get on a soapbox here or anything, but I have a bunch of friends I used to fly with that just absolute refusal to believe that FDev could do anything good. And I've tried to lay out the facts that over the last 6 months, their updates have been timely and pretty effective. Their live streams have jumped up a major notch in quality, not just in the way it's presented, but in the information they're giving us with devs coming on and everything.
Yeah.
And the story stuff has been great the last 6 months. So it's almost like a new FDev here all of a sudden. So.
Yeah, no, you're right, Tweet. It has been good, hasn't it? It's definitely picked up.
Yeah, I must admit, sort of, we're still getting people complaining about the fact they want to see the game being played, but
Yeah,
again,
but when they were playing the game, people were complaining that they didn't want to see the game being played, and they wanted devs to come on. So
yeah, exactly. So it's one of those things where you just feel that they can't win. So yeah, I'm approaching Downey's junkyard at the moment. Is that supposed to be an Iron Man's reference, or is it something else? Anyway,
it might be. I don't know. Could be.
Yep. So Ben, do you want to mention one of the things that you volunteered for today?
So sure. So I don't know if Chris is set up for this, but Frontier were very, very nice, and they have given us some shiny things to give away. As I was alluding to in code in the Lave Radio Twitter on the other day, and we've been given 5 codes to give away. So we're gonna give 2 away during the live stream,
right?
And then I think say 3 for the podcast.
Okay.
So the first one we're going to give away is to the very first person who is not on the stream or in any way related to the show.
So that's me and Alec out.
And yeah, you, Alec, and Tweaked, if Tweaked comes, are out. So first person who's only a listener of the show comes and kills me, then they will win a prize. They win a skin job for the.
You know, your anaconda's just sitting here, a sitting duck.
Yeah, I said kill me, not my anaconda.
Oh, okay.
You could dismiss your anaconda, and that could.
I could, but I'm also showing off a lovely paint job at the moment. See, I'm doing this for a reason.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
Although somebody is just arriving, and I don't know who it is.
That would be me.
Oh, that's you. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Don't worry about it. I'm not going to inflict terminal damage on you.
So after that, at some point, we'll probably. Alec, can you remember what bar the devs were in?
Oh, no, what in the live stream? You mean?
Yeah, in the live stream.
No, I never bothered to check it out because I figured there was going to be nothing to see there.
Oh, I just think, well, okay, we might go to a bar, and everyone who shows up at that bar, that's probably how we'll give away the second one towards the end of the stream.
Was it in the system then? I assume. I suppose it was.
Yeah,
That
they were
make
doing
sense.
it all in the system.
It was a planetary settlement in that system somewhere. I cannot remember the name of it though.
No, I can't. If this live stream can help, Henry's Pace. That's it. Thank you, Purple Commander. So yeah, if you can make it there, assuming that's the place, because I can't check at the moment, then we'll go there.
Can I just say, Ben, that your anaconda.
Lennon.
Okay.
Yes.
Your anaconda has all this extra ship kit stuff for the rescue. What's it called? Rescue ship kit.
Yeah, those things.
It makes driving on it in an SRV bloody difficult.
You're welcome. So at least you can drive on it now rather than drive through it, which is how the ship kits used to be.
They've added extra hitboxes there, then, haven't they?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll do anything, but yeah, they must have.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get through all these cages and nonsense.
Oh, you managed it somehow.
That's the idea, isn't it?
It's like it's just there to trap you. Excellent. Right. Well, moving on from there, I think we'll quickly have to touch on the in-game events which have been happening this week. So on Wednesday, the 19th, the Federation has banned the Far God cult. Despite the fact there's no actual real evidence to say that the Far God cult is passing on information to the Thargoids, the Federation have decided to ban them. So the Far God cult is now illegal in the Federation. It's illegal in the Empire. It's legal on certain worlds on the Alliance because the Alliance, it's all handled at a local level, and of course, independent worlds are all legal. So I'm afraid to say, if you are a Thargoid cult lover, then well, you're an illegal now. On the 20th, a new CG was started, building up materials for the Xeno Peace convoy. I do believe this one's still running, so it's a delivery CG, and yep, seems to be performing quite well. Now, also on Thursday, that was the day of the live stream, it did seem that 3 talk show hosts were murdered while live. Again, we will come along onto that later. I don't suppose anybody here is worried, you know.
I think murder's putting it too strong. I think they were abducted.
They were abducted. They've been found again, apparently.
Unharmed.
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Well, I did see Sally's been mentioning things on Twitter today, so I assume she's made it back safe and well.
Okay, I see. Well, it did say in Galnet that the 3 hosts had actually been murdered, so you know, it was a bit of a worry.
Oh,
What's the quote about news of my death has been greatly exaggerated?
I was just going to say maybe they just didn't take.
Yeah. Let's see what other wonderful Galnet news have we had. Oh yes, on the 4th we had the Hadrian Duval has endorsed the Imperial Isolation, where basically he's just said no, they're right on the right. The the Empire's doing the right thing by just managing things by itself. We don't need anybody else's help, and I should be the rightful Duval, etc., etc. So yeah, it's the usual stirring from Hadrian Duval, and of course, we get something completely different. Various news publications from the Federation and from the Old Worlds. I do like the fact that some of these publications they're actually in the older games, but they are all calling for basically some kind of unified response, so similar to Aegis. So the Federal Free Price, the Citizens Chronicle, Old Worlds Gazette, the Marlin Standard, Sol Today, the Sovereign, and Vox Galactica have all said that a more united solution would be helpful going forwards when dealing with the Thargoids. And that's been all the news this week, because we haven't had anything new today. The other thing that we should point out, the number of Stargoids has now risen to 8 at the last count.
And well, I think almost more worryingly is that they seem to be some seem to be coming. That's a good word, isn't it? Coming. They seem to be coming from different places.
Yeah, they're not. They're all coming from different points of origin. They're not all coming from one single point. I'm beginning to think that there's going to be 9 of them in total, 3 for each human homeworld. So there'll be 3 heading to Sol, 3 heading to Akana, and 3 heading to Alioth. I just got this feeling that 3 will be involved somehow, or a multiple of 3. Don't ask me why. It may have something to do with the fact there were 3 flares in the image that Sally showed about 3 flares attacking a space station. It looked like a Coriolis. Alec,
I was just when there was even 3 actually. I think the first 3. It seemed like where they were coming from was permit lock regions that we naturally associated with the Thargoids. But now that they seem to be coming from all directions, I'm a bit confused. Are the Thargoids all around us? Are they everywhere? I suppose we're everywhere, so why wouldn't they be? But it's slightly spoiling my headcanon about them all things coming from some sort of Thargoid home system.
Yeah, well, you got to remember though they were involved with the Guardians. So normally, where all you find the Guardian systems, they have been there as well.
Yes, I suppose that is true, isn't it?
So
they're just like us. They're all over the place, I suppose, aren't they?
Yeah, it's just like a virus that's got out of control.
Some in Colonia, some at Beagle Point.
Hmm. Pretty much. The one thing that did get me about this is that if you go onto the Canon website, you get a decent image of where they're all coming from, and I must admit, are all 9? They've calculated that all 8 so far are going to cross paths with Saul at some point in the next 200 days. Some are going to be there at 60 days, and some of they're going to be at 120 days. That would put it as, here you go, have a nice Christmas present from the Thargoids.
Yeah, we're going to be busy in the Christmas break, aren't we? I think.
For sure. This is, I mean, to me, this all lines up with the end of November update.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I think that's pretty much accepted now, isn't it? But what's it going to be? We don't know.
Yes. Well, we're all looking forward to it, or we're dreading it. I'm not quite so sure which at the moment, but
must resist. Must not get hopes up.
I'm with Darren. Let them burn.
I like this. The Dale Scotsman has said, "Wise men won't know which Stargoid to follow." Anyway, so moving on from there, I think it's that time of the week again.
Store alert!
In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art.
And welcome back. Well, the Store Alert has come up with some very nice malevolent horror and malevolent nightmare paint jobs. Yes, these are, I must admit, quite impressive. Basically pitch black with either an orange pumpkin face or a bright yellow pumpkin face. And we know that they are available for the Anaconda, the Python, Asp Explorer, and the Cobra Mark III. Also, on top of that, the last year's Commander's outfits are back. That's the Trickster, the Ectoplasm, and the X-Ray. They're all back with a 15% discount from last year. And on top of that, 30% off all Halloween bobbleheads and lights. Those were only available for a limited time, weren't they?
Yeah.
Halloween's.
Yeah, Halloween, obviously. So if you missed out on them last year and you quite like the look of them, which I must admit, I do like the Ectoplasm ones quite a lot, then feel free to jump on the store and get them at a discount.
Okay, I'm going to regret this, and I know a lot of people do like the Ectoplasm one.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I see that,
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I'm just thinking Star-Lord's ship with a nightlight.
Do you know the yellow ectoplasm suit? I've rather adopted it. I don't know if you do this with whether you sort of happily chop and change with suits and ship skins and things, but I find certain ones tend to stick, and it's like that's.
I'm not surprised that sticks.
Yeah, no pun intended. So yeah, I've rather stuck with the yellow ectoplasm, and it turns out I've been wearing it for a year, and Halloween has come round again, and I'm still wearing
You're
it.
still in it.
Nice one.
I know a lot of people really like it. I can't unsee what I can't unsee.
Aha. Oh, we have Commander JCB Digger is coming in to say hello.
Me.
Yes, to murder Ben, if you can find him.
I'm not exactly hiding, am I?
No. So basically, will anybody be purchasing any of the? Actually, you know what? I am really tempted for the for the ASP one. For the malevolent horror one.
I really like the black bat one for the Anaconda.
Yeah.
I really like that one actually, and I like the black the black pumpkin face again for the Anaconda. I think there's something. I just love. I think these skins look absolutely great on the Anaconda, basically. I just think it looks. I've seen it on. I've looked at it on the Cobra and the Asp, and I didn't have a Python to hand. I was like, personally, I feel it looks best on the Anaconda.
Cool.
Obviously, you can go nearby and get changed if you wish, Colin, and show off one on your Asp if you desire.
Yeah, I think I'll wait for the show to end before doing that. Oh, hello. Someone's shooting me. Yeah, someone is shooting me. You sod.
Oh, okay. Anyone who shoots Colin, they win the prizes instead if they want.
Oh.
Or Alec, he's a show host too.
All right, so it's just gone from Ben to any generic show host.
Yeah, I can accept this.
Okay. Boof. There you go.
Did you just boof the poor guy?
Yeah, he shot me.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Commander JMC bigger, but JCV bigger. But
I did think Digger was looking rather vulnerable on foot there. A bit squashy.
I can't believe you just yeeted him like that. We're sorry, JCB Digger.
I'm not. I am not at all. Wow. And my notoriety has gone up another point.
Yeah, Colin, well, I suppose you were going on about your notoriety earlier, Colin. Yeah.
Yes.
And now we see why.
Yeah, the target was Ben. No, not me. It was Ben.
I've got the codes, and although I put myself out there, if you want to kill Alec or Colin, I will award it.
All right, now I've got a blooming bounty on me now. So
I'm game. I'm in an SRV. They'll never catch me.
They'll find a way. I've got a sneaky suspicion someone's going to come back for revenge.
See, I've been nice to JCB Digger. You ran him over.
Well, he shot me.
He was standing right there.
Yes, and that was the fatal flaw in his plan. Oh dear. So
wow.
Yes. Wow.
We also apologise to the radio listeners.
Yes, because I must admit it was a good yeet. I think I managed to throw him about 200 meters. So that's one of my favorite hobbies at the moment is see how far you can yeet the scavenger. And just let me say that the Scorpion is fantastic for that.
It is fun punting people in your ship, yeah. In your SRV.
Oh, hello. We've got someone else here.
Yeah, that's Chris.
We know who he is.
Yeah, that's Chris. He doesn't count either. So also, if you want to kill Chris, you can do that too. He's with the show.
Yes, I have this horrible feeling someone's going to get me on the reap their revenge. Right. Well, while we wait for the inevitable betrayal,
curse you, sudden inevitable betrayal.
Your predictable and inevitable betrayal. We will take some adverts and come back with our main discussion.
I was overseeing the delivery of some slaves to the starport in Exios, and a cleaning robot had just washed the floor, but not left a warning sign. I had to run after a slave that was escaping, and I slipped and fractured my wrist. I was delayed for 10 whole minutes while the Medicomp repaired the damage. My time is billable. Can I get compensation?
Yes, you can.
I was on a regular trading run back to Sol, and it was my job to repaint the outside of the ship. I was given the wrong kind of EVA clamps. Nothing bad actually happened, but it did give me a fright. Can I get compensation?
Yes, you can.
I was checking some robots through customs when I distinctly heard an official call the robots clanks. I was deeply offended, even though I'm not a robot myself. That's their word. You're not allowed to use it. Can I claim for moral outrage?
Yes, you can. At Cowell and McGrath, we are now taking any kind of legal action. No case too small, no justification too frivolous. If you've been lightly inconvenienced, embarrassed, or in any way put out, then someone should be made to give you money. Don't be a stupid clank.
Excuse me?
Cowell and McGrath, taking on any case, playing the percentages.
While the team on Dex Island take a well-earned break before their Series 2 return, there's plenty of material to fill the void. Point your auto assistant to your favourite podcast app, including Spotify and Audible, and search The Dex Legacy. There you'll find bonus edition interviews with cast members and with the writer Emily Inkpen. There's also plenty of bonus materials and merch at www.thedexlegacy.com. All proceeds go towards the making of Season 2.
We all know what it's like. You're busy managing your settlement when suddenly the alarms go off.
Oh no, not again.
That's right. A commander with a Federation naval rank of Admiral, an Imperial King no less, has landed in a ship worth over 100 million credits and is killing all your staff, while they look around for a 10 credit adhesive to glue an upgraded scope to their 100,000 credit assault rifle. They fly away with their super glue and you're left with a problem. How are you going to get your agricultural plant back up and running?
How am I going to get my plant up and running?
How are you going to find staff at short notice?
How am I going to find staff at short notice?
How are you going to deal with all those bodies?
There's bodies everywhere, and they've stained the carpet.
Wonder no longer. Call Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services.
Hello, I'm Harry, for Harry's Mine. After a sudden increase in robberies and murders by commanders since 3307, I've gained valuable expertise in cleaning up bodies, recruiting new staff and restocking stationary lockers. Now you can benefit from my experience by signing up to our Crime Scene Cleanup Service subscription plan.
That's right. For only a small monthly fee, when your settlement alarms are activated, our rapid response cleanup crew will be dispatched, along with our patented Cadaver Scoop 150. The Cadaver Scoop 150 can be mounted to surface reconnaissance vehicles and skimmers to make tidying up your settlement a breeze.
Wow, the bodies are gone.
Our recruitment team has potential new employees on standby across the galaxy, ready to fill your vacant roles in security, logistics, administration, processing, and more.
My plant's operational again. Thanks, Aries Crime Scenes Cleanup Services.
Aries Crime Scene Cleanup Services. We'll have your settlement as good as new before the next ship arrives. Cadaver Scoop 150 disposal bags sold separately.
Dreams. Humanity's dreams. The hope to live among the stars. From early times, we've gazed up to the heavens and wondered if one day we could travel there. Maybe even live there. The Brewer Corporation has made this dream a reality. Constructing intricate cathedrals of metal, circling numerous planets across thousands of systems in our human bubble. Why stay rooted in a gravity well when you can be free in orbit, free to dream, free to live, and one day to become a commander and be free to blaze your own trail? Brewer Corporation, the first step into the unknown. Come join us. Be free.
And welcome back. And someone has tried to guilt me by telling me that Commander JCB Digger is now 160 light years away due to the fact that's the last place he docked.
To be okay, so for an additional mostly clueless thing, if you land and dock somewhere before you die, that's where you'll respawn.
Not 160 light years away.
It
You don't even
used to
actually
be.
have to dock. You just request docking and it'll put
Yeah.
you there. So
It used to be it would just take you straight to the nearest place, didn't it? Whereas now you've actually, it's a good way to get back home if you're somewhere weird.
I would add a caveat to that rule, which is except when it isn't.
Okay, when isn't it?
I don't know. There are just occasions where that rule suddenly doesn't apply.
All right,
But,
okay.
generally, if I go anywhere, particularly somewhere like this where we are tonight, which is about a gazillion light seconds away from the star, then first thing I do is find something like a fleet carrier or station
Yeah.
and just dock at it, and it's just a bit like setting a respawn point. But it doesn't always work. It nearly always works, but there's the odd exception.
Yeah. Well, as part of our main discussion as well, let's be honest. We're going to split the main discussion into two because I want to know about Ice Mordor. You obviously had a great deal of fun with it, Alec, and you've also have been showing off various amounts of artwork.
Yeah, I've been busy boy. Yeah, let me park this SRV. Yeah, what have I been up to? Yeah, Ice Mordor was cool actually because
well, it would be, it's ice.
but you know, being 8,000 light years from Sol, I didn't really expect anyone to come out and join me, but quite a few people did. About 3 or 4 guys from the Buckyball Racing Club came out. Mardante Soloist, who discovered it, was still this part of the galaxy, so he popped back. Mitochondria, who named it Ice Mordor, was still around, so they popped back as well. So I had a few visitors, and actually I had a few. Bloomin' Shay Blackwood from Buckyball Racing Club came out and smashed my best time, which, of course. We had a couple of races. Yeah, we had a couple of races together, and I have to give a shout out to Caleb Mincola in particular, so he came all the way out, and I think he did what I did and came out in a crate, and then decided that he'd really like to go hooning around the place in his racing eagle.
You're right.
So he docked at a fleet carrier that happened to be in system and brought his racing eagle out. And then
Yeah.
he switched into his racing eagle, and then he spent several days popping in and out of game and racing me and stuff in his racing eagle. And then towards the end of the week, the shadows started getting long, and it has a very long day. I can't remember what it is. It's like 40 days or something. So night was drawing in, and it wasn't going to get any better for about 2 months. So we all started buggering off.
Yeah.
And poor old Caleb went back to the fleet carrier to find his crate. You can all see where this is going, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
But the fleet carrier had gone, and he found himself 8,000 light years from Sol in a racing eagle with a jump range of 12 light years.
That's going to end well, isn't it?
So remember, folks, don't park on strangers' fleet carriers. It can turn bad.
Example 5,432 as to why a fleet carrier owner should have a notification of any ship that lands on their fleet carrier.
Yeah, there are issues, I guess, with it. But anyway, so then after that, so we all buggered off and came back to the bubble. But what it sparked subsequently was a desire to find something similar a bit closer to home.
All right.
So, so what we did is we, in fact, I looked in the journal files and got all the numbers to many decimal places of things like gravity and radius and atmosphere and Earth masses and all the data on the planet.
Okay.
And then there's, for folks who haven't seen it, the Spanch website, which a lot of people use for the neutron superhighway, also has a really good body search where you can put in as many criteria as you want. So basically what we did is tried to find...
And we're not talking models here, Colin.
Models of what, car?
Yeah. We tried to find very similar planets within, 500 light years of Sol.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been fascinating because we ended up with a short list of about I'm going to say 40, I think. We actually ended up with 2 lists, so I've lost track slightly. But so I put on the forums a table with a list of about 40 very similar systems to this one in composition and gravity and mass.
Yeah.
And what's been interesting is, and kind of ironic, given all the fuss that was made about repetition of, tiling of surface features,
Yeah.
is we're now actively hunting for a planet the same as another one. And finding it incredibly difficult to find one. We have, out of that list of 40, we have 2 possible candidates that need closer inspection.
So what you're saying is that it's nowhere near as basically cut and paste as people were making it out to be.
Well, there's some sod's law here, I guess, in that the features that you don't want to see, you see repeated constantly. And then a feature that you really like is bloody hard to find.
Yes, I have managed to get my commander all the way up to the top of a crane. I can see people trying to knock me off the crane. So I guess when Commander JCB Digger comes back, his objective is to basically crush me off the crane.
Well, there is a Commander O negative who is here. I don't know if he's a listener though, because he's not shooting anyone yet.
No.
Yes, if he's a listener and he shoots somebody, he wins prizes.
Oh, Mr. Turner, that was close.
I came up to see you, and then I realised you weren't in a protective SRV.
No.
So
So
sorry,
take
I nearly squashed you then.
So he's doing it again. Hello. Yes, I can see you. That's a good camera angle. Thank you very much. Right. Well, yeah, I'm pretty glad about the Mordor thing. I mean, how many races did you run?
I had one actual head-to-head race with Shay when we both happened to be logged on at the same time. Mostly, I sort of, I laid out my course and I sort of improved it. I think I got, what did I do? I did it in something like 37 minutes, and then Shay Blackwood turned up and did it in 28, the bastard. But, yeah, it was really good. It was a really fun course. I mean, it is a huge shame that it's just so far from the bubble, but we'll find somewhere else. The search continues.
This is what fleet carriers are for.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe we should organise a race weekend and just like a jolly holiday and all jump on a fleet carrier and go out there. It was great though. It was really good fun.
Yeah. Who's that in the silver SRV?
Don't know.
I'm sure there's a silver SRV as well. Plenty of purple ones. I can see that.
I'm in a silvery one with orange wheels. Is that what you mean?
I keep forgetting JCB Digger's coming back to kill us all.
No, he did say he's 200 light seconds in closing, by the way.
Did he now?
He did.
Oh dear, that's not going to end well, is it?
No.
No. Anyway, we shall move on to the other part of the main discussion. Is obviously the Halloween event. Now, Ben, it looks like your SRV is going to die. I think I'd repair if I were you.
No, it's fine.
Someone just said pool. Ah, dear. Anyway, the Halloween event happened. And I have to say, I was a little... Oh, hello. I'm getting shot now. Or was that someone punching me?
If somebody shoots Colin, they win a prize. Just saying.
Oh, I am getting shot at, so I'm getting my shields up. I don't know who that is, but...
We have a Commander Typo Negative here, who seems to be flagged in red on my HUD, so I'm guessing...
he's purple for me. So I guess he
he's
might
our
be shooting Colin.
Might be, yeah. And he's hiding at the moment, so...
Is the fool on foot?
he is on foot at the moment, so it's a case of punt the commander. If anybody wants to play punt the commander, that's... someone's being told to kill him.
Oh, he's shooting me now.
Well, someone went squish. So I don't know what's going on here. We're seeing a fantastic, a fantastic kind of.
Oh, no,
Oh,
he got me.
Yes,
He got me.
Right, okay.
Excellent.
Alec Turner is dead.
Bravo.
I love the fact that it's. Oh, ow. Right. Okay.
First paint job of the night. Typo negative.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We're not going to have that.
I'm coming back for Rwenge though.
Oh.
Did he get you too, Colin?
No.
That
Somebody
was my SRV. I'm not in it, but they blew up the SRV. I don't know if that counts towards anything.
Now I'm going to send O negative a code.
Cool. Oh, this is the first time I've ever had to deal with someone. Oh, he got me.
I feel we should apologise to the listeners for having far too much fun.
Yes.
Sorry,
well
we're
done,
playing
Dave.
the game, not talking about it. Okay.
Yeah, well done.
Apparently some of you want that,
Negative.
so
I am snuffed. Right, so Bruce and Sally got removed from the stream, as everybody saw, and basically that was that for them. Allegedly, they are not murdered, but yeah. Where am I being respawned? Actually, I don't know where. Oh, I'm being respawned up in orbit. That's fine by me. So hang on, if I'm being respawned up in orbit, how come JCP Digger went 160 light years away? And I still have notoriety. Ah, never mind. Yeah, Bruce and Sally got removed from the stream, which kicked off the Halloween event. Now, there is a write-up by Commander Owl on Reddit, but one of the things that was included in the game was obviously a code word. Now, that code word, if you'll just bear with me while I call the whole thing up again. Hashtag man looks up stuff on internet, very boring, was basically TFZIRQRL. Now, someone managed to work out that they were using @bash encoding, which was a rather unique way of deciphering this code, which of course led to the system Giaro. Or Giaro? It sounds Italian anyway. So yes, you're all welcome to take a drink for that one. Alec?
Yeah, I just had a question about @bash actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is @bash an encryption method, or is it just a website that happens to make it very easy to do substitutions using this particular substitution?
No, it is an OG encryption method.
Okay, thank you.
It's one of the oldest. It's basically a cipher that's swapping. It inverts basically, so A becomes Z and vice versa.
Right. Okay.
But it's a very, very simple one that you can just do with pen and paper in a bit of time.
Yeah, there was. I'm trying to find out who's actually done this on the forums, because I know on the forums they found it all out very, very quickly. We were talking sort of like 4 hours before the whole thing was uncovered. So yeah. Yeah, apparently Wallander said it was done with the Beaufort cipher. The Beaufort cipher?
No, it wasn't the Beaufort cipher, because I did the decryption.
Yeah.
And it's definitely @bash.
I mean, it's just a substitution filter, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not filter, what's it called? Substitution cipher.
Yeah. So people went exploring in Kiev. But can we all agree on what this system is pronounced?
Correggio.
Ah, very well, Luigi. Try not to be.
Yeah, Guarigio.
So yes, that. So feel free for. So people started to explore that, and then they found basically 3 trials. Trial 1 of 3 was found. I'm being shot at here. Oh.
Is it JCB Digger? If it is, you deserve it.
No, it's Typo Negative has now decided to have a go at me in open now as well. He's having a go at me. And there we go. JCB Digger has... No, it's not JCB Digger. It's Typo Negative have got me twice, which is nice of him. So I've now got to work out where I'm being respawned now. I bet you it's over 160 light years away. So yes, around Graggio B2C was a beacon which had trial 1 of 3 in the communicate in this. Sorry, I'll start that again. Yes, around the orbit of Graggio B2C, there was a communication satellite which you could then access, and it gave you trial 1 of 3. Now, again, you had to do a little bit of decoding in order to see this, and I think from now on we were going to say a full-on spoiler alert. There was also 6 points of interest which were important to do with this. Alec?
Yeah, I had. It's a good a time as any to ask the question, I suppose. But once people had solved the original cipher and got themselves out to the Guarigio system.
Yep.
So I didn't want to spoil it too much. I did, I'm afraid, rather than figuring out the cipher, just do a bit of forum Googling. And then I got the system name, and then I thought, right, from here on, I'll do it myself. So got to the system, used, first of all, I went to the nav beacon, which didn't reveal too much, and then I started full system.
You did your full honking.
I did my FSS of the entire system, which revealed 3 planets, each of which had, what do I want to say? It was like 1 human and 1 unidentified signal. You know, there was something weird about it in the FSS. It's a shame. I don't know if other people have sort of complained about this, but when it says there's like 3 human signals on a planet, what it means is there's 3 fleet carriers in orbit around it. Those get counted, which are a bit annoying.
Oh, that's annoying.
But there was these I can't remember the phrase, but you know, there were these other signals that gave away that those 3 planets were worth visiting. What I didn't understand was how maybe people didn't know which order to visit them in. So I ended up at 3 of 3 to start with.
Yeah.
Which doesn't.
I just went from the inside out.
Okay, is that what most people did? The problem was at the end of 1 of 1, it gave you the hint of which planet to go to next, and at the end of 2 of 2, it gave you the hint of which planet to go to next. But if you, like me, ended up at 3 of 3 first, there was no hint where the other 2 were.
Yeah, that was a bit weird because everybody went, okay, let's start off at A and work our way out, and found out everything was the wrong way around.
Yeah, and then I got the story in reverse. And I mean, we're used to this, I suppose, when you collect logs. You know, you're going around a place like the place we're at now in the SRV, and you pick up log 6 of 6, and it's you know, it's very hard. Well, you have to resist the urge to peek, you know, not read the end of the story first.
Yeah, it can be quite interesting. That I mean, I actually haven't been through the whole thing yet, so I don't know what the horror stories are. So, has any one of us managed to go through all of them? And if so, what have you thought of the stories?
Yeah, I've got them all. It's a bit of a sort of, we're in full spoiler territory, aren't we?
Oh yeah, completely full spoiler territory. If you're listening now, tough. Anyway, it's been out for a blooming week, for goodness sake.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite good. It's quite grisly, isn't it? It's a bit of a Saw, the Saw movie kind of thing. It's like some judge and juror, some psycho judge and juror has kidnapped 6 guilty people, and then shall I give the full reveal?
Yeah, go on then.
And implanted explosives in their heads, and then given them each detonators, which may detonate their own skull or somebody else's. It's lovely stuff.
Oh, someone has been watching the Saw movies. Yeah, that isn't that the equivalent of the old. We've given you a. It was the 2 ships in the end of the Dark Knight, where you could blow up the convicts or you could blow up the innocent people.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there were 3 trials. The first trial decoded as for every human who ever existed, there is a book of deeds, listing events both insignificant and essential. Within these countless passages, there are many dark chapters. We shall meet 6 individuals whose stories contain a twist. Around B3B, there was another communication array which goes, upon this planet, the trial continued, testimony was heard, pleas were bargained, a full confession was required, TR absolved the sinners of their sin, the judge recognizes true remorse, and only 2 most honest will leave this place. TR faces a final verdict and a chance at redemption. And finally, round where Downey's junkyard is. Upon this planet, the trial ends. Verdicts have been passed. Justice for all. Did you follow the court's proceedings? Will you discover how this story ends? I wonder what your book contains. What moments fill your record? Would you be considered innocent? Something to keep in mind for next time. So it does appear that yeah, as you say, someone decided to be judge, jury, and executioner and managed to deal with these people in a rather Saw-like manner.
It's pretty good. I wish it had been voice acted. Is my only slight regret, I guess.
Well, I do know that, the 2 voice actors that do work for Elite Dangerous, they are incredibly talented. And I know that they'd be able to do a lot of variation, but wow, that would be an awful lot to put in.
Well, I mean, I guess the things you've read out were the 3 at the space beacons, and those are encrypted, so you wouldn't voice act those. But the logs down on the planets, you could have voice acted quite nicely, I think. But hey, I mean, it was great.
I apologize, Alec. I'm somehow shooting at you, and I don't mean to be.
I did wonder who that was, but I loved how it tied in with the live stream. Was kind of genius, wasn't it?
Yes.
Really.
So what was What was Sally and Bruce and Paul guilty of?
Existing?
Bad live streaming? No.
Oh, good grief! If they're guilty of a bad live streaming, what the heck are we?
Poor Pictionary skills.
I mean, yeah. What did you guys think of the story that we had this year, though, compared to last year's one?
Was last year's Yadamaster? That was quite a big deal, wasn't it?
It was a different level of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Adamanster was the whole kicking off of everything that's led to HIP 22460.
Oh,
so yeah, it was nice. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that one little thing where we found this isolated settlement, and there was a kind of alien-esque incident that happened there, and it kept on telling you to keep away, because if you landed there or you got out, you would trigger these kind of aliens that would come up and basically eat anybody who was at the station. It had that kind of vibe to it. A nice little standalone creepy story.
Yeah, I know what you mean there. I mean, I liked the creepy story. I liked the judge, jury, and executioner thing. I liked the whole. I liked the conclusion of it, shall we say, where of course nobody wins.
It did remind me a bit of what was it? I think there's a Gerard Butler film called An Innocent Man, where somehow he manages to get all these guilty parties offed, but he's still in his prison cell not doing anything. Or he's set it all up so that basically all he's got to do is try and manipulate the FBI agent who's interviewing to set up a chain of events which ends up killing the three people that
I like that. I don't think I've seen this. I like the side of that storyline.
yeah, it's quite good, but I can't remember the exact name of the film. If anybody can, that rings a bell with anybody, I'd like to know what it is. Oh, Law Abiding Citizen. Well done, Slam Dunk 66. Yeah, it's yeah. I enjoyed that thriller. That was quite good. I'm sure it's available streaming somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I haven't actually been all the way through this, but so I'll have to take your guys' word for this. Tweak, did you have a chance to look this over and get involved?
I have not personally looked it over yet. I've seen the stuff online and everything. I actually have made plans with some friends to go out there tonight to do it all, so I'll be experiencing it all firsthand this evening.
Oh, right. So you're basically like me then. You're there thinking, oh, got to give this a try.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Halloween. It's an event. FDev actually does something, I'm going to take part in it. I've got all my ships, so I can do it all however I want, so I'm happy to go partake.
Excellent. Right. So, well, I'm afraid to say that that is about it for the event.
I do have one question. I mean, I enjoyed it and things like that, but yeah, I've seen some people whinging. Even though everything was in game, they still had to leave the game to go and decrypt it.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit that there have been complaints about this in the past, and I know that I know Malik VR has complained about the fact that he doesn't like this kind of thing happening. Malik VR being one of the biggest Elite Dangerous streamers. I mean, personally, I quite like this kind of thing. I do like these kind of out of game puzzles that have in-game effects, but because it makes it feel like there's more happening outside the universe than in. Does that make any sense? Thinking back to what I just said.
I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. Hashtag Colin makes no sense again. Yeah, there you go.
So I think you're saying. No, actually, I've got no idea what you're saying. Sorry, Colin. I was going to say. I was thinking maybe you're saying it's okay. Well, you're either saying it's okay or it's not okay for them to use out of game things, and I don't know which.
Right. Okay. Let me clarify this. I think it's fine. I do like the fact that there are outside components to an in-game puzzle. It makes the game feel bigger to me, and it is. You could just imagine the commanders trying to work this out in the bar with a piece of paper, going, "Well, what the heck's going on here?" Just like we are actually outside the game working it out with a piece of paper. It's just how you want to role play it, I suppose.
I kind of agree with that. I kind of like the idea that when I'm down on the couch while my wife's watching TV, I can be on my phone researching something for in-game. It keeps me engaged with what's happening in the galaxy per se. And not for nothing, but I always hear people say, I wish we could do it in game, solve these things in game. I don't really know what that would look like. How would we solve that kind of a thing in game and have everybody be able to figure it out?
I guess it would be some kind of stupid mini game, like I don't know. They go and bring back the flower picker thing that we had.
Right. Then everybody complains about that
have
too.
letters over it instead or something.
Oh God, could you imagine that? The sort of you've got
code wheel.
Yeah, you got to work out the code wheel and put. That would be so painful. Yeah. I do like I said, I do like these outside elements to the game. I mean, I know that some people don't like them, but I like the fact that you have to think outside the box, or even outside the universe, if you like, in order to solve some of these problems. I mean, fair play to the people that work it out, though, because some of them are really, really obscure. Because there was the one which obviously they had things hidden in sound waves, which is one of the reasons why everybody is analyzing that big roar that we had. And the other thing was somebody worked out that if they were analyzing the Thargoid probes, it gave the draw a very base drawing of the ship that was scanning them.
It's amazing, wasn't it? That was one of the first things. That was one of the really early ones, wasn't it? That's the sound of the probe was Morse giving back the wireframe of the ship you were in, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean that was. I mean, well played for working it out, but wow, well played for actually coming up with that kind of puzzle. I mean, it does make you wonder: is there stuff in the game that we've actually missed because we're not clever enough?
I have to say, actually, I was ever so slightly disappointed that this was just another encryption thing. I think those are getting a little bit tired. You were asking about how to get it more in game, so I was trying to think. There was. It wasn't exactly a puzzle, and I've forgotten where this is, but there was a thing. There's a thing. It's still in game somewhere, where there was a couple of guys who went out in an SRV and eventually died. And you kind of almost have to follow your nose. There's a clue at a base, and I think you get a heading, and you literally have to fly maybe, I don't know, like 50 kilometers in a certain direction, and you'll find this stranded SRV. And I'd love to see more stuff like that, where maybe there are clues in the game, like literally visual signposts that you can, like a dead body literally pointing
Pointing
over
in a direction, and you just go.
Yeah,
Just lying there pointing.
or have the encryption stuff, but make it that instead of just a simple word that you run through an app bash filter and get the the answer. Do something like have. Okay, here's an example. You have a system name. You have a system whose name is 9 letters long, and you have letters 1, 4, and 9 in one system, and literally maybe carved into the side of a mountain, or maybe the lettering, the wreckage we're at now. There's all sorts of writing on this wreckage, like no loading, or all the graffiti we're seeing in stations. So
love that if the graffiti had codes on it.
Yeah, so
that would be good.
So suppose you had graffiti that just had 3 letters, and you had five different systems that each had 3 letters, and then you had to kind of overlap those somehow to make the words. So there's a bit of in-game and a bit of out-game, but it's a more of a mix.
I'm thinking if you use, how in The Expanse, getting through the tunnels, they had the secret underground markers pointing them, leading them through the maze. Could you imagine doing some kind of underground base tunnel thing, and if you follow them to the right place, you get a secret container which you can open.
Yeah.
And that gives you a paint job or something, say, or a bobblehead.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that. I mean, one of the things that I'd like to see in the game is obviously when you come across one of these crashed SRVs. I'm obviously wondering, okay, this is just a crashed SRV, and there's nothing around here whatsoever. Where did it come from? And if there were trails, SRV tracks, you could follow that back to wherever it came from, and there could be something there. That would be a nice little touch.
Or a clue that leads you to a crashed SRV, and then you literally have to cut a panel off the back, and out pops another bit of the clue. Or I think there's a lot more they can do.
Yes. Yeah, oh, for goodness sake! There's, one thing that I've actually started to despise is with the Discovery scanner, the planetary scanner, because what I'm finding is as soon as I pull the trigger, I'm firing at least 2 probes in one go. And it's driving me up the wall. Because basically I'm not able to scan a planet properly or get it under its efficiency target because I'm firing off too many of these blasted things at once. I do apologize. I'm just having a random rant there. I don't know why. Alec.
What?
Oh, sorry, you put dots in, but that was from obviously 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was 5 minutes ago.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I am trying to get all the trials put together so I can follow through the whole story. So, although if Commander Digger can find me, I'm quite sure that I will end up having to go back to the start. Right. Now, obviously, we have these rewards that we're giving out, which are the malevolent demon skins. I must admit, I wouldn't mind them myself.
Well, screw the Lizzlers. Let's keep the rest and just share them between us.
Oh, wow.
We'll edit that out, right?
Just what? The reviews of Alec Turner do not reflect Lave radio policy, okay? Yes, don't worry, we are giving them away as prizes. I'm just admiring the fact that I actually really like them. They are actually a bit similar to the Lave radio.
This is the one that you got from the... I think the one I'm wearing... I either got it from watching someone else's stream or I got it from the Frontier stream. I can't remember which one this is.
Yeah, so...
Okay, first world problem criticism here. If I've got one criticism to make about these skins, there's so bloody many of them.
I know. We really have been spoiled, actually, in the last week with them.
They really have. There's been... I don't know which skin is which.
They've been holding out on us this time.
I know there's the witch skin, which is Batty.
Yeah.
And then you've got there's this skin, and I think is there a ghosty one as well? So there's a pumpkin one, and I think there's a pumpkin one, there's a Batty one, and there might be another one, I can't remember.
Oh right, I see. So yeah. Oh no, there's Batty ones of different colours, isn't there?
Yes, there's Batty ones. There's a black Batty one which I'm tempted to buy.
Oh right, okay. Well, that seems to be a good one.
Does anyone else think that Halloween isn't long enough to enjoy all these skins?
Yeah, it does seem to be sort of and that's one of the things that I've always enjoyed in MMOs is normally there are Halloween events and Christmas events, which developers normally make a good effort for, but the problem is it's over within a week.
Yeah, and then you're left with all these skins that you can't use for another year.
No, you can still use them.
Unless, like me,
you can wear your Bukaki one all year round.
Yeah. You've ruined it for me now, Ben, calling it a Bukaki skin.
Excellent.
His day is complete.
Very much so.
Not that it wasn't already ruined, but
yeah. Right. Well, moving on from there, I guess. I mean, is anything? What's this about cutty panels? That's the Chris Mark IV cutting in with cutty panels. We're gonna drag Chris in here. Chris,
Aye.
What did you mean?
By cutty panels, I mean if I was running about in my Maverick suit, I'm having quite a good time exploring this little complex here, and we've got all these cool little doors and things, and you can't cut them and get in and have a look around.
I would love that.
And that is one of the things that I'm really missing when they do these Halloween events, or they do the Christmas events, or the little story events, and they take to these abandoned complexes, but we can't look around them. We can only jump around outside, and I want to go in.
I think my point defense cannons are shooting at somebody.
Yeah, don't shoot me. I don't have an SRV anymore. It blew up.
I can't. This is my point defense cannons. I can't control them.
Sorry, so
I can
that's
see
sorry for derailing, but that's what I meant by cutty panels.
Right. Well, at least I now understand what you mean. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I must admit, I do wish that the Horizons settlements, that you sometimes get. I do wish that they put, not all the way through, but there's a little bit you could interact with on foot. And
Yeah,
it,
I agree. When they when they introduced on foot in Odyssey, they didn't do anything with the existing planetary ports and stations. There's no doors you can walk in. You can't even get in and out of the bloody bar, which can be really annoying. There's not even an exit to surface.
yeah, which I think. Oh no, you can.
Go on.
What you mean? I'm sorry. I mean, when you're actually on the planetary port.
Yeah, so
And
here's the thing, right? So
Right.
if you're larking around in the SRV as one does,
Yes.
and you get out of your SRV when it's parked on a rooftop,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up on foot. Sorry, somebody's shooting with missiles. Hang on.
It's Norman.
If you so if you get out on foot and fall to the ground, so your SRV is now about 100 foot above you on a rooftop.
Yeah.
So now you're outside a Horizons planetary base on foot without an SRV, thinking, what now? Because
Right.
the SRV is your only way back into the base, unless you walk about 5 kilometers, which takes bloody hours, and recall your ship.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
Do you see
So
what I mean? So you're
basically,
literally standing outside the bar thinking, I can't get back in.
oh, I see what you mean now, because I thought that you could actually just walk in, request docking, and come in, but
Like if you're in
of
an
course you
SRV,
can.
you can drive into a garage and then
Yes.
request boarding permission, and then you're in there.
Uh-huh.
But if you walk into a garage on foot, there's no way in.
Oh wow. Yes, that is a bit of an oversight, I think.
Definitely seems like an oversight. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, just something like a mission panel or a delivery slot at bases like this would probably just be enough. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm sorry, but on that actually, it's not as if like we have cuttable panels in the old Scarab SRV, so it's not like it wasn't possible to revisit assets pre-Odyssey and add cuttable panels to them.
yes, true.
They've put cuttable panels in our ships and in the SRV, so I see no reason why they couldn't have added cuttable panels to some of the boxes and things we see lying around this place, for example.
Yeah. I mean, there is, of course, the mat thing that we can sometimes get around scavenger sites, which you scan and you can pick up the mats using the SRV. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
I know
think
it seems like a little thing, but you've mentioned it before, Colin, how the ship and on foot stuff feels separated.
yes,
And I think it's improving, but in the same way, I feel a little bit that the Horizons and Odyssey stuff feels separated. And if there were even something trivial like a few cuttable panels around Odyssey planet ports, would make it feel like it was all the same game. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I know what you mean by this because yeah, it's vastly improved since launch, especially around update 9, where they started to introduce these wrinkles in the missions. But yeah, it feels like there's room for improvement to integrate the two on foot and in ship parts of the game. I mean, it's a vast improvement of where it was before. It's just I feel there's a little bit more left to go. So yes, well, I guess moving on from there. I
I've
mean,
just discovered Commander Ventura's safe word. He's just shouting mittens at me now.
right.
Oh, yeah. My anaconda is kind of nosing his SRV.
And he thinks it's mittens that's doing it or something.
I can only assume that he thinks mittens is a safe word or something. I don't know.
Commander Mittens
Well,
is currently trying to knock me off the control tower in his SRV. That is me that is shouting Mittens. Sorry.
Okay, I thought it was Norman with a safe word.
No, I'm stuck. I can't even move.
Oh, you stuck, are you?
Oh, so we're trying to knock you off the...
No, I can't put my jetpack out, you know, the thrusters out because the ship's quite close, so it can't actually let me lift off.
Oh,
So I'm
right, I
stuck.
see.
Does it help if I do that? If I wiggle like this? If I wiggle like that, is that helping you? No.
Nope.
No. Yeah. I thought I was stuck there.
Well, now you can see Lave Radio in action. Yeah, that's going to work out well, isn't it?
It'll be fine.
So yeah, well, I guess we're going to move on to the what's been happening in the community this week. Well, coming up in November 2022, the On Foot PvP CZ tournament is kicking off, and judging by everybody's efforts today, I think we're just going to have a full-blown PvP tournament right here. Now this will be happening using the eofcc.com website so to help arrange matches. And there are 3 different leagues, which is the 1v1 grade 1, 1v1 grade 5, and the 2v2 grade 2. Participants schedule themselves for a match. Single elimination tournament formats. There's 10 billion credits in the total prize pool, and there's going to be complete video coverage on their channels. So feel free to join in that over November. It should be a laugh. I mean, we're certainly having a laugh with it at the moment. There are 2 CQC tournaments which happen every week. The first is on Tuesday night, happens between 6 and 8 GMT. So that's the plasma only fed fighters. So we do request that people do stick to the plasma only fed fighters just to give newbies a chance, because the last thing they want is someone more experienced players basically putting the noobs off. And of course on Thursday between 6 and 8, there's also the Capture the Flag night. Both of those CQC tournaments, you can go to the CQC Discord and find out more details. And of course the Anti-Xeno Initiative do their Finance Friday, which is basically blow away bugs for a lot of money. Again, go and have a look at their CQC Discord. Sorry, the AXI Discord rather for further details. We have a mostly clueless section by Domzilla 2112. Basically, it says, if you wander too far in your SRV and lose your ship location, you can dismiss and recall it, and it will come find you. Now, normally I don't think I've ever lost a ship when I was in the SRV. Has anybody else had that?
I don't think so, but
quite clearly indicated on the SRV scanner, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought
there's
it
been a
was.
few times when I've gone too far away and it's gone away again. And there's other times when you're just like, I really don't want my ship to be here.
Yeah. I mean, normally when I'm approaching a hostile base, I will land the ship about definitely a couple of kilometers away, drive in my Scorpion and dismiss the ship so that I don't. It never comes under attack by any security guards or scavengers, because I don't want to lose my ship to them.
Actually, I'll chip in on that. Somewhere like the place we're at the moment, this Downey's Junkyard, which is quite a popular site at the moment because of the Halloween mysteries. So there's a lot of commanders here.
Sorry, I apologize. Sorry, sorry, Alec.
It's all right.
Oh dear, did someone punt Alec?
No, I'm
just
on top of it.
I punted Ventura. He's been shooting at me, and I just came in and scooped him up in the nose of my anaconda. And then I must have just caught him in the right place. And suddenly he's about a couple hundred meters in the air, and his health's dropping fast.
Oh, dear.
Yes. If you land in your ship at a place like this, it's not a bad idea to get in the SRV and dismiss your ship and just sound out the other commanders. I've had a terrific time here, and everyone's been absolutely lovely, apart from the bastards here today. But in the olden days, I remember going to places like this that were mentioned in Galnet or whatever, and having my ship griefed several times. So just land, get in the SRV, dismiss your ship, and then sound other people out before you bring your very valuable ship back down again. Would be my advice.
Yeah. Oh, always a good one. So yeah, obviously the the skin giveaway is in progress. Ben, we've lost Commander Type 0 has definitely got one. Is there anybody else who's managed to claim a Lave Radio presenter?
Right. O negative never got back to us.
Oh.
So I sent him multiple messages and things like that, and he never got back to me. But JCB Digger did kill me. So I was like, well, okay, O negative hasn't gotten back to me, so you win a prize.
That's fair enough then.
Yeah. And Soka 42 just rammed into me in an unshielded asp and managed to kill himself, basically.
Yeah. I must admit that we will not award prizes for attempts. You've got to be successful. So if you die in the attempt, you're not going to get a prize.
Not sure what one thinks ramming in an unshielded ship, though. That's especially an asp.
And Duck 1, you can kill anybody for a prize, but we've already done that. So it's now just random listeners. So who's in here? So we've got. Is Soka a listener? I don't know. So Soka.
Yeah, Soka is.
Okay.
Soka A42.
Yeah,
he's in the chat at the moment, so we can pass one over to him.
So Soka's a listener. Duck 1's a listener. Mittens is a listener.
Yeah.
Siberius, is Siberius a listener? I don't know.
We've got Dark Caracas. He's wanting one. I think since he asked politely, I think we're
gonna Dark. Yeah.
So I think that's all 5 now, isn't it?
Well, we're doing three for the podcast.
All right, 3 for the podcast. Right. Okay.
But if you want to give one to Dark. Yeah. Okay, right. Hold on.
There we are.
Right. Okay. Colin, could you say a number between 1 and 5, please?
3.
And it's. I'm sorry, Doc. It's Siberius.
Okay, so Siberius has got the other.
Yeah, Siberius is the other one because he's here. Yeah, Siberius is here.
And welcome, Jet Vegas. Thank you for the follow. And if you want, you can follow us all just shooting each other. This is going to work out so well on the podcast. It really is.
Oh yes. And Dark Harris. Should we say this now? So, for anybody listening to the sound of my voice, including Dark Harris, if you send us a tweet or a Facebook message, we'll make a post, and if you respond to that with a limerick, a spooky limerick, and even better, a spooky, elite, dangerous, spacey limerick, then you'll be entered into a chance to win a skin job.
And put it this way: the last time we put this this kind of competition out. We only had about 2 or 3 entries, and one of which
Your
was
odds are
Alex.
pretty good.
So,
Yes.
so yeah, that was
There he is, Siberius.
yeah. Yeah, it's Commander Siberius. I can see him there. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna land now. Right. So I think I guess we're gonna have to run up this one early, I'm afraid. Let's quickly do some shout-outs. Psycho Cow is putting together a Eurobismal show this Saturday from 8 p.m. So if you go to twitch.tv/PsychoCal, you'll find a song contest in the style of Eurovision, where songs with videos are being provided by members of the community. Anyone can then vote like Eurovision for their winner, and there'll be a lot of nil point on that one. We'd also like to shout out to his cat. Why? No? Okay, fair enough.
Because he said he wanted a shout out to his cat, and I said there was no way in hell I was going to give him a shout out to Eurobismal. But I would shout out his cat, because his cat's awesome.
Right, okay. Yes, I'm trying to repress a lot of Mrs. Slocum jokes at the moment, so I'll move on from there. Obviously, the Dex Legacy is taking the well-earned break, but if you can catch up with it on Spotify and Audible, just search for the Dex Legacy, and of course, there is plenty of bonus materials and merch at thedexlegacy.com. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, you can go to radio.forthemug.com. As mentioned before, if you want a bit of CQC action, check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. All in one word. Wow. Giving a shout out to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts, which is, of course, Flight Assist, which is on hiatus, but you can always check out their back catalogue. There's a Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And, of course, a salute to Commander Chig and JN Trax over at the Loose Screws podcast over there in the States. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. And we'd just like to thank everybody who's chipped in on the Twitch chat, and also the in-game commanders who have basically been trying to murder us. So 07 to you lot. And of course, there will be special thanks to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music that we use in the show. Now, before I sign out, finally, has anybody got any other business?
Watch Babylon 5 if you haven't watched it. It ages very well.
It's funny you should mention that, because I'm now that I've purchased season 2, I'm now up to basically Gropos. I've just finished Gropos.
Oh, God, yeah. Actually, no, I like Gropos. I don't mind Gropos.
Did you say it ages very well?
Oh, yeah. The stories in it age very well.
The stories, yes, the stories do, but those special effects
CGI,
are awful now.
Yeah, the CGI does not age, especially where they try and mix CGI with live action.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say it's like watching old Star Trek, where you just have to suspend your disbelief and go, okay, yes, we can see the strings are attached to the Enterprise, but it's still flying through space. Yeah, because I showed Babylon 5 to my son, and he went, my God, that's
so bad.
That's so bad.
Yeah,
I struggled with it in the 90s because I thought it looked bad back then. It doesn't even look as good as like the Next Generation series or Firefly or.
You know why that is, obviously, because B5, as Mac Winston is rightly saying, was done on a bunch of Amigas.
Yeah, sure. I get it, but
whereas,
and I do agree the story was amazing.
Next Generation, etc. That was Industrial Light and Magic using their full-on models, which are they've been top of their game since the 80s.
Yeah, but it was funny that they managed to pave the way for the whole CGI thing to happen. because it wasn't so long until Voyager was started using the same company that did the special effects for Babylon 5. It was yeah. But then again, this is an elite. I suppose it's any other business.
I have to admit, I would love to see a modern VFX company redoing the shots
For Babylon 5.
for Babylon 5.
What, you mean like the way that they did a
Even if-
special edition for the original Star Trek?
Something like that, yeah. Just take Seven Dreams or something like what was that? What was that one where the final one of Earth where they go and attack Earth at the end? Is that Seven Dreams? No, it's not. What's
No,
that
that's
one?
not. Severed Dreams is the big battle in the middle of season 3.
Actually, that was a good one too. That would be a good one to do actually as well, though. But no, it's the final one where they're going off and they eventually, spoilers for 20-year-old show. They go and kill President. Well, President Clark goes and does scorched stuff and everything like that. And it's a great CGI heavy episode.
Yes.
And get a modern take on that, interspersed with the high quality film that they have, and just see what they could do if they went off and did it.
Well, perhaps you should make that suggestion to. I think there's a YouTube channel for special effects artists where they try and redo all these effects, these standard effects, in a day.
I know the crew go off and redo parts of, say, the trench run and so on.
Yeah, maybe you should send a message to them and say, "Listen, what do you think you could do for Babylon 5? That's your challenge for the week."
There's enough open source models from B5 out there. I don't know whether they're high enough res and things like that, but
yeah. Well, we will leave the Babylon 5 chat for the moment, and we'll say that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you would like to get in touch with the show, you can email info@laveradio.com. You can you can hit us up at facebook.com/laveradio or tweet us at laveradio, or you could join our Discord server by going to discord.io/laveradio. We also have a TeamSpeak server where commanders like to hang out and chat. You can find that at teamspeak.laveradio.com. And please get in touch if you've got any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. And if anybody's asking, send your limericks to info@laveradio.com. So Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 GMT and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, good night, Tweaked.
I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always an honor to join you guys on Lave Radio.
Thanks for joining us, Tweet.
Thanks for joining us, Tweet. Good night, Ben.
Good night, Colin.
Good night, Alec.
Bye-bye, listeners.
Goodbye. And, of course, today's tech specialist, goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Colin.
And also thanks, I think we've got everybody just mucking about in the background, so we'll just give a quick wave to Commander Mittens, JCB Digger, O Negative, Duck1, and Cyberus, who basically it's just gone all out mayhem right now at the moment, so...
We're not singing so long goodbye, are we, Colin?
No, we're not. So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this?
Sounds like someone having an orange inserted.
You need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 25th of October 3308. We read the news so you don't have to.
In this week's news, broadcast live from HIP 22460, the Federation bans one set of Thargoid lovers and supports another. The Empire continues its isolationist policies, and the 3 murdered talk show hosts are doing rather well, all things considered.
President Hudson has driven the Far God cult out of the Federation after his Secretary of State said it was more likely than not that the Thargoid worshippers would try to disrupt the Federal Navy's anti-Xeno activities, even though there's no evidence whatsoever that they had any intention of doing so. The Order of the Far God is now an official enemy of the state. Federal hive chapels are empty and their former inhabitants have either fled or awaiting trial with a 10-year jail sentence if they are found guilty of belonging to the newly outlawed organisation.
Meanwhile, a member of the opposition Liberal Party is building a megaship to go and make friends with the Thargoids. The Thargoid Advocacy Project, which is supported by Governor Dalton Chase, plans to communicate with the Thargoids and explain that we mean them no harm, and hopefully, once they understand their silly mistake, the Thargoids will stop attacking us. If the megaship tries to make peace with the Thargoids in HIP 22460, they'd better do it very, very quickly.
Over in the Empire, Emperor Orissa plans a standalone empire without the need for trade or defence ties with the Federation, Alliance or the independent systems outside Imperial borders. She reckons the Empire will be better protected from the Thargoids if it chooses not to work together with the rest of humanity, and isolationist pin-up Hadrian Duval agrees with her. Princess Aisling Duval thinks this Empexit thing is all a bit childish and populist, but who's going to listen to someone who once dated a federal ambassador and who thinks slavery is a bit old-fashioned? Good on you, Empire. We're sure you'll send those Thargoids packing.
We've received news that all 3 members of the 07 TV crew are safe and well after their ordeal on Thursday. They've all separately reported in as safe, although their whereabouts are currently unclear. The mysterious word left in the studio by their assailant, TFZIRQRL, turns out to be encoded using the Atbash cipher, which uses a reversed alphabet. To decode it, you replace any Z's with A's, Y's with B, and so on. So the message is actually the name of the system Guraggio. If you go to that system with a detailed surface scanner and an SRV, you can uncover a creepy story called The Trial. Starting at planet B2C, there are beacons and surface sites, and if you scan the uplinks you can piece together the story, if you dare. If you get to the end, you might find that you want to jump into a canyon, but don't despair. There might just be a paint pack or 2 as a reward for uncovering the plot.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news in a war zone, so you don't have to. And it would be really nice if Dalton Chase and his Megaships for Peace movement would hurry up and end the war before we run out of ships.